Hello everyone and welcome to Living Wealthy Always. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Julianne Lewis with Living Wealthy Always. And look, today we've got a lineup for you. We've got a dynamic young lady by the name of Casey Smith, and Casey is what you call inspirational. She is going to take you to the next level. That's what we're about on Living Wealthy Always. We're about giving you motivation, inspiration, and even comedy, whatever it is, to make you a better person and to help you move to your next level of life. Well, Casey, it is a pleasure to have you here. You've got a fantastic story to tell. Let's start about talking about you. You have got sickle cell anemia.
I was born with it. Yes.
You was born with that. Tell us a little bit about sickle cell anemia and what it is.
It's a very deadly disease, debilitating to say the least. I found out when I was 2 years old. I had my first crisis then. But what it is I tend to make sickle-shaped blood cells, and they get clotted in the veins, and they can cut off oxygen and circulation entirely to vital organs, or just be very painful. They didn't test baby, so they found out when I went in my first crisis
at 2 years of age. They found out that you had it. Wow, that must have been something else for your parents.
It was very hard.
It was, okay. So one of the major things, and this is inspirational to me, you told me that you are now one of the oldest people that you know living with sickle cell anemia.
Yeah, the lifespan for someone with sickle cell is not that good. It's about 16 years to 18 years old.
Wow. And Casey, now Casey looks like she's in her 20s herself. But do you want to tell the audience your age?
I'll be 47 shortly.
47 years of age. So this is dynamic. So when you got diagnosed, there were some things that happened in your life, and you were telling me about when you went to the doctor. What did they tell you about how you were going to be, how your life was going to be?
Well, as I grew up, there was a lot of challenges, and there wasn't enough information for my mother. So it was very hard. I was in and out of hospitals quite often, in ICU quite often. But they told me, they said, well, don't try to have children, and don't try to be into any sports. There's things that you cannot do. And of course, I went on to for sports. That was my thing. I joined 3 or 4 of them, and as far as having children, I had 2. So.
Wow,
wow.
And I'm going to tell you what on Living Wealthy Always, these are the things we're talking about what Living Wealthy Always is. You actually have to be the type of person that determine in your life that you're not going to let the world set a standard of who you are and how you're going to be. Here is a young lady who was told she cannot have kids, or she should not have kids. I think they said you were going to die if you had kids. And then she should not be in sports. And she defied both of those odds. Now that's inspirational within itself, because so many times people get caught up in what the world standards set, but you did not let that set that for you, because today you are going to be 47 and looking a picture of perfect health. Isn't that a glory? That is something else. And I want to ask you that. Who do you give as your inspiration, or what would be your testimony as to why you're sitting here having this conversation with me? You had 2 children, you did your sports, lived your life the way Casey determined that it was going to live. What would be your inspiration of how it is that you got here?
Well, of course, I would do that glory to God.
Yes.
Without him, I would not be. There was times when the doctors could not help me and were giving up on me. It was just a hopeless cause. Even my mother told me, don't worry about college. There was a lot of times I was ill, and she just didn't think it would be many more years for me. So it was a challenge for myself to triumph. But when I look back, it was God who was giving everything to me that I needed.
That you needed
to triumph.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you have special foods that you eat? Any type of herbal medicines you use? What do you do besides your traditional things?
Well, I have an alkaline-based diet, and I don't know if everyone knows what that is. Alkaline-based is just basically staying very low on the acid side.
I see.
And I take supplements, vitamins, and herbal teas and different things like that. But things that my body needs, I've done a lot of research, and I try to put that back and supplement myself so that I can stay healthy.
So that you can stay healthy all the time.
Exactly.
That is fantastic, fantastic. Look, I am so inspired. And Casey, you've given me an inspiration. I would love to have you back on the show where you prepare a meal and prepare the different types of meal and show everyone what it is that you do in order to keep yourself going and looking this way at age 46 with this particular disease that you've got. And you know what? We're actually not going to say you've got it. I think you have conquered that.
I think I beat it.
Yes, you have. Yes,
Glory
you
to God.
have. Glory to God. Certainly,
Yes.
certainly. With that in mind, I have to ask everybody this on all of the shows. What is living wealthy to you, Casey?
Well, I have to say it is just waking up every day, just knowing that I have a covenant with God and that He honors it. And that's what gives me peace. And
Yes.
knowing that He's the protection for my family. My family's well. Everyone is fine. My children are healthy.
Yes.
And I am making new accomplishments every day.
Every day, every day. You also told me that you had, and I don't know if you want to share this, you had a hip replacement?
Yes, I've had 3.
3 hip replacements.
I was hit by a boat. I was on a jet ski and I didn't know how to maneuver it. I was learning.
Wow.
And a boat came through and knocked me off, and it messed up my back and both my hips. So I've had a replacement on both sides. I have prosthetic hips, but this one has been replaced a second time, and I'm looking at reconstructive for a third time.
Oh my goodness. And look, are you listening to what this woman has said? She's triumphing over all of these situations. She sits here today as an inspiration to say to somebody out there that is saying, woe is me. Here is a situation of somebody who's saying, I am determined to live my life wealthy and healthy at all times. This is what we're talking about. It's your health, it's family, it's love. It's about being motivated to achieve your goals, because you're definitely doing it. You are showing what it is to be that type of a person. Thank you so much. Now, the other question I've got to ask you, are you living wealthy?
I am, and I try to inspire young women who come with challenges to do the same thing.
Yes, yes, be an inspiration to others.
Yes.
Certainly, certainly. Thank you so much. I certainly appreciate it.
Thank you.
Certainly, Casey. And we're going to be speaking with Casey's son, who is another inspiration as well. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Listen, I've got to take a moment out to thank my sponsors. And I want to thank my sponsors sincerely. Our sponsors are Viru. And if you guys have not heard of Viru, they're the hottest, newest thing out there on YouTube. If you want to get your video or anything that you have on YouTube to go viral, to get your message out, Viru is the company to use. And I'm talking, these guys are genius, literally. They've taken what it takes to make a video viral and get your message out to the other level. Anything you need to know about doing that, please get with Viru. Then also I want to thank Carve Life. Carve Life Production is right here in Atlanta, Georgia, and anything you need in multimedia, Carve Life Production can do for you. Please do click on their link. These guys are fantastic at portraits, at creating, editing, and doing anything that you need to do in the film industry, or portraits, pictures, anything like that. These guys can get done for you. Please do click on them and support that business. Also, I want to talk about Avor Lifestyle. I want to thank them as well. They're one of my sponsors. Avor Lifestyle is fantastic. I know there's lots of health products out there, but I have chosen to use Avor Lifestyle because I know it's a good product, and I sincerely suggest it to you guys as well. It's for men, it's for women, it's for anybody, but they've got special products, specialty products out there for people. Get with Avor Lifestyle. Their link is on here as well. I want to say thank you to all of my sponsors again. Thank you. And now we're back with Trey Smith. And let me tell you, you heard from his mom, Casey Smith. And what a dynamic story. And this is the son. He's got a fabulous story about his life, inspirational as well. A 13-year-old young man who has done so much, more than most adults. By this age, oh, you are doing fantastic. And you know, as they said, the apple does not fall too far from the tree. So obviously, you know this young man has got a fantastic story. So Trey, tell me about yourself. You're 13 years of age and you've already written 3 books?
Yes.
Wow. Now tell me, you started when you were age 8, I believe? Oh wow. What inspired you to start writing books at age 8?
My mind wanders in a lot of ways, and so basically one day I just sat down and just started writing just like a story.
Just story, okay. And you determined that you were going to publish these books, this book that you wrote?
Yeah.
Oh, good, good. What type of genre do you write for? What age group do you write for?
Well, the book is fantasy, and I write for the age group of like pre-adult.
Pre-adult.
Yeah.
You're 13, but you wrote for, at age 8, you're writing for, wow. And so the other 2 books, what are the other 2 books about?
They're sequels, like continuing the story of the Atlanta Battle.
Oh, okay, so good. So, okay, so you're going to do what? Are you going to make movies? What are you going to do with this?
Make movies.
Okay, good. So, Stephen, watch out. Here's a young man coming to take your place. Wow, wow, fantastic. And these stories that you're writing about, tell us a little bit more about these stories.
Basically they're about a young boy named Zach who he can't shapeshift at first, but later on he is able to do so, and so he just learns how to control it and gets better and fights more and more.
Wow, so it's like life. You're learning how to deal with situations in your life, and you're moving on, but you're winning.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, let me tell you something. For those of you out there who are looking for a good movie, something to base your movie on, here is a young man who has written something that would be new for you. So you probably need to give this young man a call. I'm putting in a pitch for him right now. Yes, certainly. Well, look, this young man is so dynamic. I was told that you played the violin.
Yeah, I do. I've been playing for 2 years.
You've been playing for 2 years?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. And this is age 13 I'm speaking about. And did you, I believe it said you tested in the top 5 percentile for schools?
Yeah, it was COGAT testing, and I got in the top 5%. And so I got a letter from Duke University one day I came in school, and there was a paper laying on my desk.
Duke University sent you a letter, and you said that you are in. They tested you for TIP. They wanted you to be in the TIP program.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me what that's about.
It's talent search, and basically what you do is you go in and take either the ACT or the SAT.
And what were you doing with them with this program?
I was taking the ACT.
You took the ACT.
Yeah.
And I was told you were helping them in terms of figuring out questions or something like that.
I was just taking the test.
You just took the test,
yeah.
And then you took it and you scored in the top percent.
Yeah.
Wow, and this is age 13. Some young person out there, today I want to say to you that regardless of how old you are, nothing is impossible for you to achieve. You can achieve your dreams at any age. This is what Living Wealthy is all about. We're talking to a young man, age 30, who started at age 8 to make a difference in his life. He was inspired by his environment. His mom was overcoming various challenges. He watched that, and of himself, he determined that he was going to be a different person at age 8. Wow, and today he's age 13. Now tell me, what do you want to be when you grow up, older?
I would love to be a lawyer.
He wants to be a lawyer. Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. Look, I'm going to tell you, on Living Wealthy Always, we speak to so many people. And I'm inspired by this young man to move to the next level of my life, just listening to him. So I want you to know out there, anything is possible, your dreams are. I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Because this is a question we ask to everybody on Living Wealthy Always. What is your interpretation of living wealthy?
Basically cherishing every day and thanking God that you have it, and just honoring, having family, just being around family. Yeah.
Being around family, it's very important in living wealthy. It's not just about money, it's not just about all the other things. Family is very important. Thank you so much for saying that. Now on that note, are you living wealthy?
Yes, I'm living.
You are living wealthy. Give me an example of how you're living wealthy.
I always wake up and I thank the Lord for my day. And
for your day.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes,
always
yes.
have fun with my family.
And you have fun with your family, certainly. Look, I'm going to tell you, I enjoyed speaking to you, Trey. Thank you so much for taking the time to come on the show. Before you leave, I believe we did talk about you having a t-shirt that you're doing. Okay.
It's a line I'm trying to start called Lord's Life.
Lord's Life, and that is a representation of what?
Basically, I just want to, represent God instead of, a lot of stuff that's out today. I just want to put something out there
put something, a positive spin on something out there. There's so many other negative things, and this young man is putting a positive spin. And we're going to hear more about that from you. You're getting it prepared now to bring out? Okay. We'll have information about that on the site as well. Wow. Thank you so much, Trey, again. This motivational video today is about being delivered from people. And that's a major thing for so many people, is that a lot of times people live their lives based on what other people think about them, and it leaves them in a very small capsule. Every book that I have read on wealthy people and how they became rich and advice that they've given, one of the things they've all said is you must be delivered from people and what people think about you and what you're doing. Each and every one of us is put on this earth to do something. You've got to figure out what it is that you're put here on this earth to do, and do it, regardless of what anybody thinks about it. It's about you. You've got one life to live. I hate to say that, but it's true. So you better do what you have to do before you wind up young and restless, and then be stressed and wind up in general hospital. And I say that out of fun, but for those of you who know what that's about, soap operas. But I say that in the sense that it is true about us in life. We all have something to do, and if you're going to accomplish your goal, you must not be worried about what anybody in your family thinks, about what anybody or your friends or associate think about what it is you're doing. If you have a strong desire to do something, go for it and do it. And the next thing I have to share is there's a difference between approval and you're looking for encouragement. Sometimes I know people go to a friend or a family member, especially somebody that you respect in the family, and they're looking for approval when they're asking or telling them about something that they're planning to do. That's not a good idea, because people can only encourage you to go as far as they see themselves going. That's the unfortunate thing, is that when you go to Aunt Susie or, you know, Uncle Jim or Grandma or Mom or whoever it is that you're going to, not taking anything away from your family members, most of the times they have not accomplished anything, and they cannot see themselves going past that level. Or even sometimes they can't see you going past that level based on whatever their perception is of you. And so their encouragement is not going to be well, or their approval is not going to be well. And you should never ask anybody for approval for anything that you desire to do. If you're going for encouragement, go reach out to the people that you think are going to be encouraging. Don't just say something to somebody just because you just want to say it. Oh, let me just tell everybody in the family what it is I want to do, that I'm planning to do. Sometimes it's good to keep it to yourself and only seek the knowledge of the people that you know have knowledge about it. Not because Uncle John or Uncle Tom is an expert in carpentry makes that he's going to know what it is, or means that he's going to know what it is to be a successful business person. He might not be a business person, period. He might just be good at his craft, at whatever it is that he's doing. So make sure that whatever it is you plan to do in life, make sure that you yourself desire to do it. And sometimes some people say, well, I don't really know what it is I'm supposed to do in this world. Sometimes it's the thing you like best. My main goal today is, please, whatever it is you desire to do in life, get yourself up and do it. And do not think about what somebody else is going to think about your accomplishment. So you fail, but at least you tried. But so many of the other people that created wealth speak about how many things they tried and they weren't successful at it. All they did was figure out another way to do something or not to do something. So failure is not a negative thing. You've just figured out a way not to do something so you know not to make that same mistake again. So I encourage you today, be delivered from what people are going to think about you, regardless of whatever it is that you plan to do in life, and go for it and do it. Thank you so much. Look forward to encouraging you on another show. In the New York subway, and 42nd Street in McLean's music. And the train is in the back. The train literally stops at this point where he's playing, so that's interesting. Here comes the train while he's playing straight up the aisle. And that's it for our show on Living Wealthy Always. Thank you for watching. Remember, living wealthy always is a mindset. Woo!